What's up, everyone? Today we're working on the 81 Dodge Ram. That's right, we're back on the V10 swap. I know we've been pretty busy getting that Cadillac ready for the road trip, and boy, it was a great success. No drama whatsoever, but let's go ahead and get back to the real meat and potatoes here, this V10.
What's up, guys? We're going to get this thing in today.
So it's going to be mostly just a mock-up, but once it's in position, we'll be able to start leveling it with our right degree of the angle for the dangle in the back, so that, you know, the drive shaft's going in the right orientation, and then we'll be able to weld the new engine mounts in. We do have that wonderful 727 sitting there, so we got to drop that out, pull it to the back, and just lift it where the bed's supposed to be. And then it's just a matter of pretty much just fighting it.
Let's get it on.
So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right onto it. Down here, the first thing we need to do is knock off this heat shield here, which this has never come off before, so we'll see how that works out. We're definitely not going to want to lose this because we're going to want to reuse it. Now that we got that out of the way, might as well drop this piece of junk right here. And we can get easily to those bolts, take those out, and then slide the transmission forward, down, back, and right up and out. Rich is currently taking the caps off so we can knock that drive shaft right out of the way. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw a nice socket on there, blast that out, and keep moving along here. She was definitely leaking, so before we put this in anything, we're definitely going to have to rebuild it. One of the things that was worrisome was getting the trans mount from the 727 to fit on here. When we pulled it off, we noticed that it was a little tiny bit too narrow. So I just widened it up a tiny bit and then oversized the holes. You just torque it down to what it's specified and it's not going anywhere at all. So that's all set. Now we just have to start sliding it into position and I'll see what it leaves us. Well guys, it's been a pretty long day, but we got the hood's pretty lined back up to where it's supposed to be, and for a while that little latch wasn't really catching, but I cleaned it with some parts cleaner and then a lot of liquid wrench, and it seems to work. Anyways, there it is, guys. Now it still needs to be leveled out a little bit better, but and we have to weld in the engine mounts, and unfortunately I broke my regulator last week and working on getting those bolts out of the heads, and I haven't been able to get replaced. So it's in, guys. So if we just take a quick walk around, you can see it's just blocked in right now. I still need to get it level. I need to make sure that the pitch is correct. It's pretty close to center, but once again, that will be verified prior to it. And in the spirit of keeping this thing within reason, and so far we've kept this underneath $2,000 so far. We haven't started it up yet. The day is young. No, but we're trying to keep this thing fairly cheap. One of the issues we were encountering is, believe it or not, like I was showing you, we were able to use the original bracket from the 727 transmission. The axle lines up perfectly. It's absolutely perfect, guys. Oh, freaking awesome. Let me sneak down underneath here. As you can see, this the spline's met up and everything. She turns over nicely. She's all bolted in there. If we go up to the front again, just take a look at this, guys. I still need to see how our manifolds reach. It is a little bit further forward than I would like it to be, but we would be encountering a bit of issue with the belt housing. The Cummins belt housing, if I was to put it back further, I would have to start really beating the crap out of the firewall, and I don't want to do that. I want to cut it up, and I really don't want to keep it. I don't want to do anything too dramatic to the body to make this thing fit. So it fits where it is. Everything is perfect except for, of course, one thing I knew I was going to have an issue with. The clutch fan won't fit in here, and obviously the radiator shroud sits back far enough that it's an issue. Now, I don't mind cutting up the radiator core support. That's fine, but I don't think we're going to have to do too much to it. I think we just have to take these brackets out, make new brackets so we can reuse the V10 radiator. We're going to dump the fan shroud, and we're going to have fans, electric fans on this side pushing forward, so that will solve the issue for, you know, not having a shroud and not having a fan, and it'll keep the, you know, the space, which is very limited right here, free of all of the accessory belts and everything. Now we have about 4 inches of room to work with. If we take this brace, flip it around and put it on the front side here, and that's what we'll do. We're going to go ahead and trim these right out, make it nice and smooth, and make a fairly nice shroud out of aluminum, so that when the fans go on the back side of it, it's actually pulling air through it properly. Well, the next step, guys, is to go and get a replacement regulator for the welder, and we need to mock up the engine mounts as well as the mount for the radiator. Once that's in there, we can start putting all the accessories back on it. Rich is still working on the wiring harness, so once the wiring harness is all set, we can pop it together and hear this thing run, guys. I am going to scoot it out of the way. We're going to kind of reposition vehicles again, because that needs to get over here, because we have some things to work on. That needs to get out from where it is and brought forward, as well as the frame table needs to go where the Supra is. The Supra and the Mini Cooper are going to go in the front. The Mini Cooper can drive, the Supra can't. But we're going to start working on getting this area cleared out for the drift truck as well as the satellite. And can't move the truck too far because it needs to still be able to be welded on. But yeah, guys, big step. It's in. I'm hoping we can knock out some projects within the next 2 months. I want to knock out two to three projects. We'll see how things work out. We'll say two projects. This and the satellite, and the caddy's all done. I'm digging this month. April's a great month, guys. All right. Until the next time, remember, keep your shiny side up. Do things that people say can't be done because, well, they're boring. Doing things that can't be done is the most fun part. Oh, and tomorrow we won't be able to work on this because we have another vehicle. My new Dadmobile with Theodore pretty close to being on his way within the next 2 weeks. I really needed to replace the BMW, and I did sell that like 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Probably we'll say 2 weeks ago. And so I needed a vehicle that could fit 3 kids. I think you guys will dig this vehicle. It's newer, but vehicles around here are either astronomically expensive or they're too small to fit 3 kids. And I'm not going to drive a minivan. Sorry for you guys that drive minivans. Not sorry. I don't like minivans. So I found something that's bad to the bone. The fastest SUV from 2002. Oh, yeah. All right, guys. You have yourselves a glorious night. Remember, as always, keep your shiny side up, and God bless.